Over the years, film has changed from analogue to digital filming. In this documentary, I'll be exploring if we'll make the full switch over from analogue to digital film.
Personally, I think that it probably has had an impact on how people watch films, as it's become a lot more accessible, particularly as it's easier to decode said film onto things like DVD, which are easier to carry around.
Well, I'm not sure that it makes it more realistic. There's certainly a difference because you can do much more with digital film than you can with analogue. So more realistic, probably not, but certainly definition is better.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're less grainy now compared to sort of like real type films. And obviously we've got HD, fully digital and stuff now. So yeah, I think it's made a hell of a difference. Much sharper, much clearer.
I wouldn't have thought it's had a huge impact on how they watch them. You've got YouTube that's only been around for 10 years now, but it's part of everyone's life. So I think things have changed enormously in that respect. How they actually view them, I don't know if that's changed a lot really, no.
The transformation between analogue and digital film has changed the way people watch films, as now we can view films wherever, on our phones, tablets and laptops. Digital films have created a whole new experience for regular film viewers. One example of this is 3D. Analogue, however, still has that spark which people generally have when they watch analogue films, and it makes films basically films. My opinion is that digital can damage the way people view films with the all new added technology and effects.
Well, I'm hoping the new digital age isn't the end of film and celluloid film. I'm hoping it just still becomes an option to choose between the two. The problem is with analogue, it can't really go any further, whereas digital at the minute we don't know how far it's going to go, so I'd be worried, to be honest.
I think it's a new beginning, but I think it's the end of an era, sort of. It's the end of film and everything that it used to be.
I would say it's a new beginning, definitely makes it accessible to lots more people now as well. Because I mean, I work in television, and when I trained in television, it was all quite a mysterious world, and you'd go into studios and see enormous saturation lighting rigs and vision mixers and stuff that you hadn't sort of come across before. But nowadays, everyone's familiar with shooting stuff and editing stuff, so yeah, it's just sort of brought it to the masses now, really.
I think it's probably a new beginning because it's going to give filmmakers the opportunity to develop their skills, and obviously with clearer filming and filming that is far more precise, greater clarity. I think it'll enhance people's enjoyment of what they watch.
I managed to email Matthew Waganacht, who is a director of photography, to see what his views are. He said, "Hopefully film will survive for those who want the best possible image quality. Kodak seems committed to making it. Many of the top directors and DPs consider it the best. The latest Star Wars and Jurassic Park movies are shot on film, as was Star Trek Into Darkness. Christopher Nolan uses nothing but film, often in IMAX. Hopefully film has a bright future." I believe that digital films isn't a new beginning, but another step to a new beginning. At the rate at which technology is changing, I feel that digital will also change at a rapid pace.
Yeah, I suppose it could be more profitable to shoot on digital. I mean, the thing is as well that nothing much has changed with the crewing. So you still have the same number of people.
Matthew Wagner. This is what he said. Shooting high-end digital and 35mm film costs about the same by the time you are done. How well a movie does in the theatres generally determines the profit.
Well, I think, without a doubt, the most profitable format is digital because it costs less to produce in the first place.
The amount of money to create either an analogue or digital film is quite a big difference. Just for a 1000-inch 35mm piece of film is around £550, just to be able to record a film on an analogue camera. That is without the loan of an analogue camera as well as the set and editing process, and not forgetting the development of film. However, digital film isn't far off. For a 16GB memory card, it is around £10 for top quality. My opinion about profit for both styles of film is that for the amount of money which you pay for both, you get a very different result. If you pay for top quality for analogue film, you get the best picture quality. However, if you pay top money for digital, you have all the special effects which come with the high definitionness of the picture.
Well, if you're talking about storage of actual film stock, then that's quite specialist because it has to be stored at the right temperature and humidity and everything. Whereas nowadays you're just storing digits really. Nobody really knows how well the different storage media are going to last into the future. I mean, you could have film that's 100 years old, say, and you might still be able to get something off it. It's an interesting time. Maybe people will be using a lot of cloud storage as well, a combination to store things into the future.
Up until recently, and I think there's still a huge problem with this, is that they've always been stored through analogue tapes. Digitals takes up far less room, obviously, physically, because it's not something, it's just an area of space, rather than analogue tapes actually have a size to them. So digital's easy to store, but it's obviously currently not reliable because if a server went down or hard drives go down, you lose everything.
But yeah, easier to store. I would think digital from now on, because that's the future anyway. So you've got to find out a good way of storing it, basically.
Analogue storage takes up more physical space than digital, as you have to put all the reels of film in an archive. This is a big danger as the film is highly flammable, and if the archive sets on fire, the film is lost. However, digital storage is easy to store and you can easily make backups as all the footage is stored on a hard drive or in the cloud. However, the downer on this is that the hard drive can corrupt and all your footage can be lost.
No, I think that it makes films more accessible for people to be part of. If you have someone at the age of 7 experimenting with a digital camera at home, they're not going to put together something that's going to be multi-million pounds worth, but it's definitely going to put them in good stead when they start getting the training and access to correct tuition, which allows them to make better films in the long run. I think it's only a good thing that people can experiment more and learn more, and thusly will make better filmmakers in the future.
Matthew Waganak replied to this question, professional films are not going away. Just because you can buy a camera doesn't mean you know how to make a movie. The most important thing on any film is having a professional director, DP and crew.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a talent and a skill that you need to do sort of professional video footage and so on. Having said that, software, digital cameras, camcorders and so on, they've all improved so much, so it is easier. I mean, you can make a fantastic quality video at home now, with a little bit of education and sort of having the right software and tools, but I still think there's a strong need for professionals in the business.
I think the fact that digital's far easier to get hold of, digital cameras now, it's a double-edged sword in my opinion. It's great that everyone has the opportunity to be artistic and to create films and to get a hold into to being in the industry, but ultimately I would say since digital's become a main format, the quality that we're seeing on cinema has deteriorated.
I don't think that professional films are at a low just because anyone can buy a digital camera. There are so many specialist techniques which are used in professional films that unprofessional films don't have.
Quite a lot. When I used to go to the cinema in the early days, you would have a B film, loads of adverts, and an A film. Now you have all the adverts, then you have your main film, and that's all there is to it.
When I first started going to cinemas, it wasn't. We didn't have stereo sound. We had very, very simple analogue films, and the experience, although enjoyable, is nothing like the experience that you get today.
Oh, again, I'm the older generation. That when you went to the cinema, it was a proper day out. It was a big screen. It had the tip-down seats, and the air was thick with smoke. So the whole thing actually turned into a lot more of a social exercise.
From what I have found out, people's cinema experiences have changed dramatically in the terms of the setting and the general cinema experience, with having film A and then a break and then film B, and also the surround sound and picture quality. The projection for both films have also changed, as for analogue you would have had a projectionist and an analogue projector, whereas for digital it is all computerised. I feel that the whole cinema experience in terms of quality, digital is best. However, for the social aspect, analogue is best. In conclusion, there will always be directors who will film with analogue, such as Quentin Tarantino. However, in the future, they could become rare, with the efficiency and lower price for digital films being produced. Overall, I don't think that we'll be saying goodbye to analogue films for a very, very long time.
Farmer in my own farm, in out and foul, from the high ceilings, in the right pocket my hand, in the other one